left the field, because if he was laying outside in the bombs, it was blowing up because the weeks. But to lucky that from all this, the walls would fall down, I guess, and stopped. If that would come up to the real bombs, everything would level out, everything with the people. But it was lucky. And then
you said we went out into the fields.
all the city was on the because it was exploding bomb the bombs every second, another bomb, and it was so.
Was your whole family together at this time in the woods?
Together not in the woods, but
in
the fields we was laying then. Until it was quiet, then we went back. But then the border was only maybe 30, 40 miles or something. That the Germans idea.
And it was that night that they entered your town?
They entered the town, and they entered with the stormtroopers. They went in like a lightning with tanks, with everything, with the but they, for real, they didn't do anything. They came in, they took the synagogue, soldiers, they come in, they have to rest, whatever, and then they demanded, give me to the people, to the, I remember them higher, they like X. So the food, and they're looking for hacks and this and this. And my mother says, hey, they're not so bad. They're not. We remember them from before. Yeah, we were scared because. But the thing was that some of them they was mean, but mostly they. But some some of them they said, wait. The real thing comes now. I mean, we only soldiers, but the real one, because we said, that's not so bad. We said, we got friendly with them. It's not so bad, but the real thing comes, they knew.
So when the Germans first entered the town, there were no real changes that took place right at the beginning?
The beginning, no changes. They took the cities, they left the cities, and the frontiers went on. They, the Russians, their tanks and this, they came out, they shot them down on the ways.
About how long after the Germans first entered your town did things begin to change?
Oh, the minute they established, maybe a week later or something started to change.
And what happened a week later?
Oh, they came in, the real ones. They came in, started to shoot and kill every little street, every little, anybody vigilante you don't take off the head. Why you don't have to put on that? Whatever you did, they hit you. Anybody wanted to do it, they take the gun, he shoots you. He take a club, he hits you in your head. You walk on the sidewalk, he hits you in this, and if he wasn't, but that's a real thing. Then later.
What changes what rules and regulations and changes did they bring about?
Rules to put on yellow stars or leather patches in the front and the back, not to walk on the sidewalks. The Jews not allowed to walk on the sidewalk. And they start.
How did you receive all this information as to what you had to do? How did you learn that you had to put this yellow?
Oh, they put in first. They start to organize a Judenrat or something to
what was the
government.
Judenrat?
What was?
Tell me about the Judenrat.
The Judenrat was a group of prominent Jews. I think that's his mother was talking, and very smart people. And
who was the head of the Judenrat?
Judenrat, the head was Itzlianovich. He was a famous businessman. I think
and what was his job?
His job is to create a Judenrat, like a board. Like a government thing, in small form, like do you have this branch and this branch? They start to demand, give them things, give them every time something else, give them workers. They need workers. In, like I said, we had a horse, and so we had supply communication to the Germans by the bridges to take workers, and then you have different branches. Like one is for food, and one is for labor, and it seemed like a
So all the orders and directives from the Germans came through the Judenrat to the people in the town.
would advertise, and then they took out they took out a place made a ghetto. They took out the Gentiles for some sections.
How long after
That,
the Germans entered the town did this begin to happen? Just approximately.
A month maybe, I don't know. Something.
During that month, before you were ghettoized, what restrictions were put on your life?
Everything. They do it very, yeah. So Germans, they came into the town in the middle of the day, and they knew there was a Jew because you wear the yellow thing, he kills you. It's for fun, he got drunk. There was a group, they call it the layman's group. There was murders. They came on, they got drunk or something, they came into the city, they see Jews, kill. And I remember I was a boy at that time, I was 14 or 14, 15. And I panicked. I see shoots and hits with there the rubber clubs, like in the, so I run, I from panic, I run into a goy, into my log. This guy, goy, he didn't throw me out, he took me in, he still was, and he put me in the room, and I was hiding under the bed from panic, till everything went out. But it was nice. Still in my memory is, take a look, this guy, I still remember until now. He
What
let
was
me
his
stay
name?
there. I don't recall his name. He was a shoemaker. And he was our neighbor next year. And to me, it stays with me all the time. The guy let me stay for a couple hours till the thing passed by, and then he went out, and was over. Somebody got clubbed, somebody got shot, or whatever. It was over. And then was again the same thing.
Now, when the
Then
Germans entered, what did they do as far as the businesses that people were involved in? The Jewish-owned businesses.
No business.
How did they confiscate them?
They had no right for business. They had no business. They made a ghetto. They took out. We had my Bobby's house. We were living. She left in the United States because my mother was the oldest. She gave her a little house over there, and we had to leave our house. And we went to a house somewhere where the non-Jewish, the Gentile, they made a section where they resettled. They come over here. If your house was on the border, the Jew has to go there. And then they made a wire fence around, I don't know how many miles around this part of the city. And they made, from every corner, they made gates with slavans and all. And that was a ghetto. That was a ghetto. It's not like call it over here a ghetto where some people live. This a ghetto is you live on the wires.
Now, when you first were given the directive that you were going to have to leave where you were living, do you remember the response of the people in the family to hearing this?
The response was not happy, but that was a must. You have nothing to say. You got to do it. You got to go.
Were you allowed to take anything with you?
Yeah. To live from whatever you had in your house, whatever you want to take with you. Mm-hmm. Yes, you could take anything with you and live. But
and how were you moved from one house to the other? How did you get from one area to the
For
other?
now,